Finally, it has arrived. The GoPro Max, their 360 camera that just came out, and I pre-ordered it. Yes, I paid full price for it. This is $499, which is more expensive than the GoPro Hero 8 Black, but it's not that much more. So my hope is that this will just replace all my GoPros, so whenever I go out to do some action-y stuff, I don't have to just like pack all these little tiny cameras with all their individual little tiny batteries and all their little tiny memory cards. I just want to be able to grab one thing and just be like, all right, this will do it all. So that is my hope. Let's open it up. Ooh, check this out. This has protective covers, which is always nice because 360 cameras always have very exposed lenses. These caps are not for underwater use and they may affect quality. So if you want to get the best picture, maybe take them off, but if you're gonna bang it up, then probably throw these on. Oh, these are on here, good. I guess that's a good thing so they don't fall off. Or just the option to use lens caps, that's smart. Glad they're including this stuff out of the box because with all my 360 cameras, the lenses get scuffed up. I think this might be the first 360 camera that I've had that has a full-on display back here so you can generally see your frame and your settings pretty clearly. So that's nice. Should we take this outside? Let's go.
Sure about this, Sam?
I don't know, man. Maybe we should start somewhere a little bit, you know, less intense.
How about that one over there?
Yeah, that one.
When's the last time you went on a roller coaster?
When I was 16.
I haven't been on one in like 10 years. So this is a nice and easy one, right? This is nice. Oh, these turn tight. Hey, we need to hit these turns slower, guys. This is not safe.
So there we go. What'd you guys think of the footage out of this GoPro Max? Pretty dope, right? Now there are some good and bad things that we're gonna talk about on this camera, but first let me show you something. Check this out. My girlfriend Carrie and I both got a bloody lip at the same exact time. So we were sleeping last night and our dog Lefty decides to come up and join us and sleeps right in between us. So we made a little Lefty sandwich. And the thing with Lefty is that she sneezes very dangerously. She goes, my face was here, Carrie's face was here, and she goes, and like knocks us both out. That was the dangerous situation. Anyways, back to the GoPro Max. Now, if this whole 360 camera technology confuses you, long story short, there's two lenses, one on each side, ultra wide angle. So this records everything on this side of the camera. This lens records everything on this half. Takes those two halves, stitches it together, makes one giant global image. Then with that data, you could do all kinds of stuff. Look at just a small portion of the frame, make it look like a regular video, or you can do weird little planet effects. But the beauty of recording 360 is that you're capturing everything, so later on you go back and you select out what you want. Now the very first thing I noticed when going through this footage was that wow, the audio quality isn't bad even though we're on a roller coaster going 82 miles per hour. And I want to say the reason why it's able to do that is because it has 6 different microphones all over the camera, so it uses the microphone that works best in that situation. So this is great news for anyone that does action sports that move really fast, like paragliding or snowboarding or jet skiing.
The advantage of this GoPro Max is that it's waterproof, so perfect. You don't even need an underwater housing for this GoPro Max, so that's what's awesome about this.
One thing to keep in mind is if you just take this and dunk it underwater, it will not stitch correctly. There'll be a big gap. There are aftermarket solutions like a globe that will let you put any 360 camera in there and it will stitch correctly. So one benefit of this Insta360 One X, which is the 360 camera I've been using, is that Insta360 offers a underwater housing that has a little built-in bubble so you can stitch it underwater. But the downside is without that housing, this is not waterproof. Now let's get into this GoPro app for a second, which is actually pretty capable. And what's nice about it is that if you're out somewhere with your camera and your phone, you have everything you need to record, edit, and upload a video.
So check this out. I have the app connected and I can set this down over here and I can monitor it live, which is nice. So I can literally see myself right there. I can zoom into that. I can see you right there recording me, and I can look around like this and zoom in, zoom out. And all the footage we filmed while we were on the roller coaster, we just captured 360. So the workflow after that is now I download it from the camera onto my phone. Now to export this into a normal clip, there's a couple ways to do it. One is keyframe. So generally I can pick my frame right here, hit that as a keyframe, done. I could go ahead a little bit more, turn the camera around, zoom in a little bit, rotate it how I like, add another keyframe. And basically if I play that back, it just moves between the different keyframes. So that's one way to do it. But the method I personally prefer is over capture. So if I hit the top right and hit over capture, that puts me in this mode. So now I just hit the record button and just act like I'm there filming with my phone. So I hit record, I'm recording, I'm looking at us. Sam looks kind of nervous. I'm gonna look like an idiot here turning around, but check this out. So now it's gonna take that camera movement I just did and save it into the phone right here. So you can upload it to wherever, like YouTube.
There is also a free computer app by GoPro in case you want to download all the footage onto your computer and then keyframe everything and control it that way. It is kind of a slow process picking out each keyframe one by one, but the benefit of it is that you can be super precise with how that footage is controlled. Now, all the recent 360 cameras have been very good at stabilization, and this is no exception. We carry this onto super bumpy roller coasters that was doing all kinds of flips and twirls and making me want to throw up. This did a great job stabilizing all that footage. The camera always knows which way is up, down, left, and right, so it kind of compensates to make it look like the camera is stationary, even though the camera the whole time was like this. Now, one of my personal favorite features is that you can actually use this just like you would a GoPro. Because shooting 360 footage is awesome because you have all that flexibility, but it takes work to extract the clips you want from you. You have to download it to your phone and then reframe it and then export it as a clip and then upload it. So for those times where you don't need that fancy 360 coverage, just pop it into just standard camera mode and treat it like you would a GoPro. Now, the quality out of it is good enough in my opinion, but not as good as a GoPro Hero 8, for example. You're definitely limited on resolution and also frame rates, but for someone like me that only occasionally uses GoPros, this is an awesome feature to have. And since there's two lenses on here, I can just flip to the other camera here and check it out. I'm basically just on vlog mode and it looks pretty good. And I have horizon leveling on, so check this out. Look, see how the camera is turning? But look at the footage. It looks like it's stationary. How crazy is that? And I can see myself with this little screen, and that's awesome. There's also a built-in hyperlapse mode in here, which is kind of fun, but where is the slow motion, which I was kind of surprised about. I was looking in the menu and eventually found out, yeah, it doesn't have any slow motion in 360 mode. If you just switch into the standard GoPro mode, you can get 60p, so that's some slow motion at least, but in full 360 mode, you are locked off at 30 frames per second. That's it, which is a huge bummer because even this Insta360 One X can do up to 100 frames per second, so that's pretty good slow-mo. And also, this is currently $399 and this is $499, so this is actually cheaper and also a little bit slimmer. It's taller, but it's slimmer and less boxy. A few final thoughts. I love the grip for the GoPro Hero Max. It does not come with the camera, so you do have to purchase it separately, and it's very simple, but it works very, very well. You just turn it to lock it in place, and also it has little tripod feet, so this is awesome. On the other hand, the Insta360 has something called the invisible selfie stick, and they call it that because when it gets stitched, it kind of erases the stick and it almost looks invisible. That is also something that is sold separately, but I do have a link in the description. If you decide to use it, you will get that selfie stick for free. And one thing is, I did not use the detachable lens covers that we put on here earlier. I did a few shots with it. I try to keep it as clean as possible, but whenever the sun hits it a certain way, it's definitely visible and makes the lens look really dirty. Opposed to when you take it off, everything just looks so much more crystal clear. It even makes the stitching look better, so ideally I would shoot without those covers, but in case you're about to really bang it up, then maybe throw that on there.
Anyways, let's wrap this up by reading a few comments from my last video, which was all about the DJI Mavic Mini, which is an awesome little drone for $399. It's actually kind of crazy if you think about how much awesome stuff you could get for under $500, including the Mavic Mini and also even this. I mean, the technology out of this camera is insane. I mean, I could just stand on this little ledge right here and do this, and look at this. 5 years ago, anyone were to see that clip, they'll be like, how did that happen? How was that shot possible? But now it's just like, yeah, this is awesome. Top comment, Potato Jet says, drones are not a toy. Also Potato Jet, Limbo. Okay, I'm sorry, that was probably a bad example. Drones are not a toy. Limbo. Oh. Potato Jet says, there's a slight chance of winning this drone. Me, stop scratching my drone. Well, congratulations, Preston, for winning the Mavic Mini. The FAA says all drones weighing 250 plus grams must be registered with the FAA. DJI says, hold my gram. I actually love how DJI made the Mavic Mini 249 grams, literally 1 gram to just fly under that FAA radar. Love that. Hey Sam, quick question. Were you actually scared on that roller coaster yesterday?
A little bit.
Which one was the worst one?
Accelerator.
Can we get a close-up of the accelerator scream?
Here it is.